So it is December 2024. What's going on in the housing market? So Bill McBride, housing analyst, calculated risk. With the recent home price increases, some people are worried about a new housing bubble. But mortgage debt isn't a concern, and lending standards are much better now than they were during the bubble of 2008. Absolutely, we're seeing lending is much tighter. If you've gotten a loan or you know somebody that's gotten a loan, they pretty much want everything, including your firstborn. I've offered Philip up instead of having to give all the paperwork the bank wants, but they still want that paperwork. So we're seeing this definitely good trends as we're seeing that the housing debt versus the equity, the values of the homes are still relatively low. Lending practices are stronger, which is why I don't think we're going to see a huge foreclosure, situation over the next few years. So hopefully, knock on wood, values remain up, and that will continue. Rick Sargra, founder and CEO of CJ Patrick Company, said for a homeowner in the early stage of foreclosure, that equity helps them avoid a foreclosure sale, either by leveraging the equity to pay down past due mortgage bills or by selling their property in order to protect the equity they'd otherwise lose at the auction. Once again, same thing. We're seeing this here. Nothing crazy. We're seeing a slight uptick in the serious mortgage delinquency rates, but nowhere near what we saw back, in the bad years. And it's really just a tick up because time is, progressing over through that. And this is normal to see homes. Unfortunately, people do end up in foreclosure. So it's normal to see some. One thing that's interesting on a national level, days on the market have actually risen. So from 2021, it was 43. Today, 2004 was 58. That's at a national level. So you're seeing it take a little bit longer to get properties sold. I think in our area, we're seeing still fast for the most part. Homes go, get accepted offers quicker, but it's taking longer to get from accepted offer to contract because I think right now certain buyers are bidding because they're getting caught up in the emotional turmoil of bidding wars, and then they're backing out or they're trying to renegotiate on inspections. It's not as clear cut as it was, and there are more hurdles I think that we have to jump through. So I think that's why we're seeing a little bit more of days on market with that. Inventory has risen since 2001. No doubt about it. 2001 actually had a high amount in there. We're down a little bit from last year of what we had locally on inventory, and I think that trend is going to continue. We're going to hover around this 4.5, 4.7 million homes for the U.S. I think for the next year or so. Hopefully it will turn around maybe 2026, 27, but I think for 2025 we're still going to see a low inventory environment. Rick Sargra, founder and CEO of CJ Patrick Company, said, I don't expect to see a meaningful increase in the supply of existing homes for sale until mortgage rates are back down a low 5% range. I agree with that 150%. I think that, the gap has to shrink between that 3% mortgage and what the rate's going to be for somebody else to buy something new and take a mortgage. And, in our area, we have some of the move up, but it's not as much. A lot of times people do buy and do hang on there for 10 years or so. So we'll see what kind of happens overall throughout the country. I think as the rest of the country gets a little bit weaker, the Northeast will feel a little bit of the effect. But I think we're still going to be pretty strong for 2025. The average consensus for, the mortgage rates for, let's say Q4 of 2025 is 6.3%. I think it's going to probably be a little bit lower than that. I think it's probably going to be at 6 ballpark, but we'll see what happens. Total home sale forecasted, definitely, 2001, it was 6.9 million, probably the highest we've seen in a long time. 2023 was 4.8 million, and 2024, the current pace puts us at 4.6 million. So like I said, less inventory this year, which just kept those bidding wars up, even with the higher interest rates out there. So what's projected for 2025? 5.1 million homes sold. So we're seeing kind of that trend, hopefully, and I do believe it's going to happen. We're going to hit that curve a little bit and go up, which is what we ultimately want to see. So far what we're seeing for the month of December, to be expected, low inventory out there. People kind of getting more tied up with the holidays and family and getting things together to wrap up the end of the year. Not a lot of new things coming on the market to be expected. Like I said, I think the way that the holidays are falling this year between Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, I do think it's kind of a little swayed of what people are just going to probably wait until after the New Year's to do something, and hopefully the weather will hold up. So rates are still in the low sixes. Buyer demand is still strong. We're still seeing people out there looking to buy. We put a couple of properties on, and they have got multiple offers. So 2025 should be an interesting year. I think we still will see some price increases. Rates will probably hover in the same, maybe go down a little bit, but I think we'll see some fluctuations, quarter point, half point, either way. So if you're thinking about buying and selling, feel free to reach out. And regardless, I hope you and your family have a wonderful holiday season.